powerful example of how God calls us to forgive just as He's forgiven us. And I just believe so much in this woman Rene's story and how God can use it even here tonight that I invited her to come from Florida to visit New Mexico, and she's here tonight. Would you please welcome Rene? Thanks for being here, Rene, and just heard their appreciation. They're glad you're here too, and I'm so inspired by your story because it's hard for me to forgive, if I'm being honest. And I won't ask for a show of hands, but I'm willing to bet that that might be something that at one point in time in each of our lives we're going to struggle with. For me, sometimes it can be the little things. When I read Rene's story, I thought, you saw my little girls tonight, I love them so much it hurts. And if someone would ever do anything to hurt them, if I'm being honest, I don't think I have it in me to do that, I can hold a grudge against the guy who cuts me off in traffic, let alone. And I'll never forget the first time I got to meet you and saw that, and shortly after that, I asked you the question I've been thinking of asking you, and I want to ask you tonight. How did you find it in your heart? Where did that strength come from? How were you able to set that free and forgive this man for what he did?
Well, Matthew, it is only by the grace of God. It is only by the strength that I have as a believer in Him. Because as you know how much you love your children, I love my children just that much. I would die for my children. And I couldn't imagine anyone ever taking one from me and being able to forgive that person. And I know that I'm not humanly capable. And so I just know that the strength came from God, straight from God. There's no other explanation.
And so you've been on this journey since, and you got a room full of people here that, Lord willing, we'll see him again, but we know we will, heaven someday. But this is a chance for you to speak to them, and I love your heart, and I love what God's done in your life. And I just want to ask you, what would you share with this crowd? After all that you've been through, all that you've experienced, you've been reminded how short and precious life is. We're not promised tomorrow. What would you say? You're living your life right now. What do you keep coming back to as the most important part of life? What would you want to share with this crowd of people tonight, right here, right now?
Well, as you were talking just now, I guess, loving people. That's what Jesus taught us, is how to love. And that's the one thing, if I could give you one word, it would be love. And, through a horrible tragedy, and a lot of hatred and bitterness and all of those things that you experience, I have learned to love a young man who killed my daughter. And, there is no other explanation for that other than Jesus Christ. And so tonight, I just want to encourage you, if you have a burden that you need to lay down here at Christ's feet, if you are a Christian and you want to do that, if you are not a Christian and you are struggling with forgiveness with someone, I want to encourage you to accept Christ tonight so that can begin now, so that healing can begin now. You cannot wait another second. It is so urgent. And for those of you who need to ask someone for forgiveness, then I pray that you will do that too, because that is where the healing begins, and I can tell you that it's the only way to heal completely and fully.
Thanks, Rene. And that's it, you guys. That's what this is all about. This life, Rene's story is a powerful reminder that this life is short and precious and brief, and none of us are guaranteed or promised tomorrow. Rene's daughter, she was coming home from the beach that night, probably making plans for the next day. You know, and that's not to scare any of us. It's just for us all to be reminded. This life is too short. It's too short to hold a grudge. It's too short to let our pride get in the way of going and asking someone for forgiveness and saying, honey, I'm sorry. Or family member, I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Can we start over? And really, bitterness or holding a grudge like Rene was struggling with, that's just one area of darkness. But the devil's got a whole lot of areas of darkness that he's going to try to keep our stories and our lives hidden away. And whatever it takes, he'll find one. And he'll find a way to keep you hidden away in the darkness. You know why? Because he knows that God has a huge plan for each one of your lives. For all of us. He's got a huge plan for our stories. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. You see, there's light and there's dark. There is no in between. Well, the world will try to make you believe that there is an in between and it's okay to dwell there. We live in a world that celebrates 50 shades of gray. No, the gray is just another word for darkness. And Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. And so tonight, this is what it's about. It's about saying, hey, I know what's on my name tag, but that word on my name tag just represents darkness. And I'm tired of it. And I don't want it anymore. Tonight I want to give you an opportunity. I think I'd be making a huge mistake if I walked off this stage and we got back in our vehicles and headed on to the next city if I didn't give you an opportunity to make the most important decision of your life. And that is to say, you know what? I want to accept Jesus into my heart. I want to become a follower of the light of the world. I want my life to change. I want it to be better than it is right now. And so tonight I want to introduce one last person. You met my whole family, almost. But there's one other person who's had a profound impact on my life. And when I started receiving all these stories and we started doing these concerts and telling stories like we have, I could sense that God was really working in people.